Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is another great day and another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook. And Kelly, you're with us here today. We are heading into it's October now. It feels like this year has gone by pretty quickly, but we are in fall, all fall things. I, of course, have had a couple pumpkin spice lattes already. Yeah, I have. It's great. Love it. And Kelly, what are some of your favorite things about fall as we're heading into the last quarter of the year?
You literally stole mine, Elizabeth. I wasn't going to mention to you earlier when we were talking about this, but yeah.
Pumpkin spice lattes?
Oh, dude, pumpkin spice lattes are my favorite. I just want to be hit right in the face with pumpkin, right? Like I just pumpkin.
I made pumpkin bars already.
Pumpkin bread.
Yes, I love pumpkin. My birthday, just as an aside here, my birthday is December 1st, so it's kind of getting into December, but it's still Thanksgiving time. Like it's actually in the week of Thanksgiving. Usually, growing up, instead of having a birthday cake, I would have a pumpkin pie as my birthday cake. So OG pumpkin lover right here.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So pumpkin spice PSL, right? You know, we call them PSL because we're so, cool and hip with it, right?
Yep.
That's one of my favorite things, obviously, right? And that comes out. That's blast. And then I do like football just a little bit. So
you may have heard him mention it once or twice on this podcast here.
So football season, I mean, I would say that the leaves changing, but that doesn't happen a whole lot in Arizona. So, but I still I still enjoy the weather. It gets a little cooler.
Yeah.
And
it's
then,
not 170 degrees at least, right?
No, we're starting to head into the second season of the year, which I call awesomeness.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we have business planning when it comes to business that I absolutely love. So I'm all in on business planning right now. Matter of fact, we just talked to our team about it because the month of October, we're now in Q4, is just that. And it shouldn't be something you rush, right? You want to make sure that you are planning appropriately. You want to make sure you're setting goals that actually you can achieve. I'm just kind of over now. I've been doing this for 18 years. I'm kind of over myself included, but having people set goals that they're really not sold out to do or hit, right? They might say they are, but they really are not. So let's just get real when it comes to our goals. And if it's not what the public thinks is the cool goal to achieve, so what? Whatever's good for you is what should be good for you. And so that's what you're gonna work really hard to achieve. And you're gonna double down and sell out to achieve that goal. And if you do, we have a perfect plan for that, a perfect business plan that will get you there. It's quantifiable, but you got to actually achieve and sell out to that goal.
You have to sell out.
You have to commit to it. There's this old saying, right? That I think when it comes to think breakfast, that the chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. That's how you should do business planning in real estate.
I've never heard that saying before, but I like it.
So are you involved? Or are you committed?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which one?
All right. And why is the pig committed? Is there the bacon?
Because the pig's the bacon.
Yeah.
And
okay.
The pig is no longer breathing.
Got it. The chicken did some involvement, but the
chicken's involved, but he's still walking around, right? He
doesn't care about your breakfast. So okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And if you guys have watched or listened to our podcast, again, we've been doing this since I think 2019. So for years now, this is our annual. I walked into this episode knowing this is what we were going to talk about today. Kelly walked in knowing this was what we were going to talk about today. If you're an avid listener, you probably knew this was coming. So this is our business planning episode that we do every year, every October. I'm excited to get into it. We talked a little bit about goals and being committed. Kelly, let's get into a little bit more of, first of all, just a reminder as to why we business plan why this is our October episode, not our, December end of the year episode, looking into 2024. Let's kind of recap on that a little bit.
Yeah, good point. You do that because what's the sales cycle in real estate? It's a minimum of 90 days on average. And it can easily go longer than that, especially in a market like this. We have rates that are high and people are maybe a little more wishy-washy about what they want to do. So 3 months is a conservative number to start with, right? So whatever you start doing October 1st, October 2nd, October 3rd, that's going to have a direct correlation on whether or not you're going to be on pace for your goal for 2024. It very much so. And so the worst thing that you could do is possibly work like, a little too much, a little too hard. And then you just happen to be well ahead of your goal in 2024 in the first quarter because you just bust your tail in Q4 of 2023. So it's not to say that you just give up in 2023. That's not the case at all. You're going to keep busting your tail because it's very likely, you're going to find some people want to sell and buy and that will close in 2023. But for that pipeline that maybe you are struggling to create, when it comes to selling anything, you operate a sales business off of a pipeline. You got to build it. And so this is stuffing and building the pipeline well in advance of January 1st. That's why you start right now, to be clear on that goal. And then you start the process of achieving it.
Got it. Okay. And I know that you said you started you started talking about business planning. Have you actually written your business plan and everything yet? What are some things that you're kind of switching around or putting into your business plan for next year, especially amid kind of all the changes that now that we've seen what this year has kind of done in real estate that it wasn't doing last year? What are some changes that you're making?
Yeah. So I think right now you're seeing the NAR come out with numbers and Zillow come out with numbers and these big aggregators of data that focus on the real estate space coming out saying that, in the past, there have been 5.1, 5.1, 5.0 million home sales in America for the last 2 to 3 years, right around that number. Okay. This year, right now, it was funny. They started out at 4.7, 4.8. Fannie Mae, NAR, no matter who you track, and now NAR saying they're projecting 4.3 million home sales by the end of this year. That's rough math. What, 18, maybe 20% less transactions? Yet the number of realtors with people with licenses, real estate agents, have never been higher. Now there are some people starting to quit, right, because it's too tough, way more difficult than they thought it would be. So there's a lot more people vying for a much smaller pie. And that's the way it's going to be. And probably unless things change dramatically in 2024, it's going to be very similar in 2024. So you need to understand that when you're business planning. Now, generally speaking, we always take the income goal. This is a job. This is something you're trying to earn income, right, to do. Otherwise, you could do something else with your time when it comes to earning income, some other job. But because you chose this job, there needs to be an income goal. What is it? What are you sold out to do? And a good little exercise is this. Hey, you're talking to one of your agents or yourself, right, in the mirror. Hey, Jim, you said you want to make $80,000 this year. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So if you made 70, would you be okay with that? Could you pay all your bills and you'd be fine and some entertainment, some spending money? Would you be okay with that? Well, yeah, that's fine. I'd be okay with that. Okay. No problem. Good. How about 60,000? You make 60, you good with that? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can do 60. I keep buying 60. Okay, well, how about 40? 40? No, can't do 40. So your bills would not be paid. And well, I could probably, afford all my bills is 40. But I wouldn't, be able to do entertainment, miscellaneous stuff, that kind of thing. Maybe a vacation or two, wouldn't be able to do that. So, so 40 is you're not okay with that? No, I'm not okay with that. Okay, how about 50? Well, yeah, I could then go on a vacation and, you get the point, right? And they settle and you help them self-discover that the reality is they got this number, whatever it is, the first number they say, potentially, from a magazine or from the internet or from who knows, right? From their friend down the hall in the office. And the number means nothing to them, but it sounds good. And the reality is they're not going to be sold to it. That the mornings when it's raining and cloudy and cold, they're not going to get up and go do what it is they need to do when they need to do it. Mm-hmm. That's right.
At that point, it is just an idea of that number. There's no
correct.
basis behind it. Yeah.
Correct. And then you go into the whole, what's your big why? And that's a whole nother topic for a podcast to find out the motivation behind your number. But you start with that number. And then from that number, you reverse engineer. Now we have 7 metrics. We reverse engineer backwards. We'd be happy to send that template to anybody that would like that, who's watching the show. Just call us or DM me at Instagram at Kelly Cook Homes, and we can get that over to you. But we work backwards. And this all comes down to this notion of how you win the day, Elizabeth, right? And we base that off of opportunities. You can do a certain amount of contacts. You can choose by doing those contacts through dials or knocking on some doors or meet people at a networking group. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it. But at the end of the day, literally, not metaphorically, at the end of the day, did you win it by getting the number of people added to your database per each day that you need to do an ad in order to hit your goal when the end of 262 working days, whatever it is up at the end of 2024? Yes or no? And what we found in business planning in the past, and what we found here recently, we ran some numbers of, I think it was about 5 agents on our team. We were going through some of this business planning and talking for next year, getting ready. And what we found is that the percentage they were behind on their income goal, if they were behind, was almost to a T the percentage they were behind on their opportunities for the year. Like almost to a, I mean, it was odd. And so that
you expect that, like, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. But like when you actually see the hard numbers of it, that's surprising and really enlightening. Yeah.
It should be, because now you sit there and go, holy cow, it literally is a numbers game that I can choose to control if I want to. But the problem is most people won't. Why? Because it's hard. It's not easy. You know the path to get there. You have someone holding you accountable. You have that personal trainer at the gym, right? i.e. real estate coach, holding you accountable. And you can go to the gym every single morning, but if you walk around drinking coffee and water and just chatting with people and not doing the push-ups and sit-ups or getting an elliptical machine, you probably won't lose that weight you're trying to get there to lose, right? But you can tell your spouse, oh, I was there all day. I was at the gym for an hour, 2, whatever. Yeah, but when you're there, what'd you do? And how many people go to an office or go to a coffee shop or go to wherever and they say, oh yeah, I was working for 8 hours. No, you weren't. Maybe 1, maybe 30 minutes.
The time spent is not the same as the work put in. Yeah.
Correct. So if you're in sales, you chose to get into sales because there's this whole interesting dynamic to where, maybe you could be your own boss. You can have your own schedule that you make up. No one's watching over your shoulder. Okay, cool. But what you fail to realize is that on the days you don't do so well, doesn't mean you get to leave at a certain time because you chose to be in sales. Now, on the flip side, if you win the day by getting those database ads that you need by 11 a.m. and you would like to go take the rest of the day off to go, handle some other business or whatever you want to do, cool. You should be able to do that and feel good about it with a smile on your face. Conversely, what that means, however, is on those days by, let's call it 5:30, you haven't got those database ads. You shouldn't be leaving the office or Starbucks or whatever you're at. You should stay until you won that day. So Kelly, that means like, I might have to I don't know, stay till 8 o'clock. And yes, that's what it means. If you're committed to it. If you're not committed, then just skip it. And then you'll find out.
You could say, oh, tomorrow I'll double it and make up for today. You could do that, but the chances of you actually do it, then the day comes tomorrow, that's always the I'll do it tomorrow. That's just the I'll do it tomorrow excuse. So
people, and let me tell you, realtors have the shortest memories of anybody, right? So no, what do you mean? Yeah. And the next you look up 2 months later, you're behind goal and you wonder why. Well, the reason why is because you shortcutted too many of those days. Maybe you were sick, but I was sick. Yeah, you're right. That's legit as it gets. But you have to be aware that you were sick. And because you were sick, you missed. And therefore you have to make up. Now, when we business plan, we're going to talk about this. We business plan for 48 weeks, not 52. So it's, not quite 11 months. It's actually a little bit over 11 months, but it's 48 weeks, not 52, because you need to have some vacation, some time off. You're going to probably get the cold or the flu or something, right? Be out for a few days, right? That's just going to, things come up. So you have to plan for that. And if you take the whole week off to go to, whatever, Disneyland or something, then you don't feel bad about it. Go enjoy Disneyland because you plan to have 4 weeks off. So that's 1 year weeks. Merry Christmas. Go ahead. Have fun, right? Enjoy yourself. You need that time off to reset. So that's part of the plan too. 48-week business plan. How many days a week do you want to work? Wait. So you're saying I could maybe choose to work 5 or 4 days a week, or even 3. Yeah, that's what you want to do. But those days you're quote unquote choosing to work, you better be on, because you're going to have to do more those days than you would if you spread it out over 5 or 6 days. Okay. So that's important too. Now, the new wrinkle we're adding this year that we're getting really clear on is what we found in our business is that what a lot of agents did when it came to business planning and trying to hit their goals throughout the course of the year is that they would, plan to work 5 days a week, let's say, when it came to lead generation. And let's say their number for the week was 20. Just making up a number. Okay. They'd have 20 opportunities to know they won the week, right? The day and the week, right? Okay. Well, they got to Friday and they're behind. They had 12, let's say. But then they go and they sit there and justify themselves. Well, you know what, though? I have an open house, on Saturday, maybe 2, Saturday and Sunday. And so surely enough people will come in that are nice and friendly and blah, blah, blah. And I can befriend them and they'll be my other 8 people, right? Well, what if that doesn't happen? What if the number is only 2 short? And you said, well, surely 2 is not for sure. That's going to, no, there's been plenty of times over 18 years at open house, nobody came into the open house. There's sometimes where 55 people come in. Other times, nobody comes in. So if that's the case, then what? You're behind your 8. You only had 12. You assumed you would get 8 more of the weekend, but you never did. And then you just have a short memory. Then you start the next week thinking it's a whole new week. Now, here we go. No. You're 8 behind. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to start with the weekend in arrears. So we're going to start with the week for business planning ending on Friday. That's what we're going to start. So what we're going to do is if you happen to get 5 people over the weekend doing whatever you're doing, open houses, some other activity. What are you saying?
Oh, sorry. Hopefully you can you can front load the weekend then. Like, it gives you that opportunity to front load the weekend and have stuff done by Friday instead of the other way around, hoping to backload the weekend, essentially, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah, because you have to have spokes in your wheel. And some of those spokes have to be things you can control. And the other spokes can be things that maybe you are outside of your control. You can't control how many people are going to drive by your house with your sign and your open house and pop in there, right? But you can control how many people you choose to text message or maybe send a DM on social media to, or call, or whatever it may be. You can. So if comes Friday and you're behind by, 8, right? You have 12 for the week and you need 8. You can sit there and choose to be there all day long, right? Till 9 o'clock at night on Friday. Yes, on a Friday, you can do that. You're in control. You may choose not to, but then you're also choosing not to maybe hit your income goal either. So how important is it to you? How deep is that why? How big is that why? How attached emotionally are you to that why? The why is why you are doing your business, why you got into sales, because it's not easy. You could go do something else and show up and do a great job, and they're going to make sure they give you some income for that, some pay for that. You could come to the office all day long for weeks and weeks on end and actually do, let's say, legit work, and potentially nothing comes of it. Now, we all know in the long run, that's not going to happen, but in the short term, that could happen. Mm-hmm. And because humans have short memories, they sit there and go, man, I busted my tail for 2 or 3 weeks and nothing came out of it. This doesn't work. I'm out. But the reality is it will if you stick with it over time. So on the business planning side, that's what we're doing, which is going to be a game changer. I really do believe that. Very clear for agents in their minds in terms of how they report their numbers and aware of their numbers. Because we tell every single agent on our team, you're the CEO of your business. On the team or not, it doesn't matter. You're the CEO of your business. And so we're going to have those 7 metrics that go like this. Your income goal for the year. Okay, that's a stated number that you're sold out to. Then from there, it goes backwards. And that is how many deals, how many closings, how many people did you help for that year? Listings for buyers, listings for sellers, investors, whatever. Closings, how many closings did you have? Then you reverse back. How many appointments did you actually hold? I'm sorry, how many agreements did they sign? Excuse me. How many agreements did those people sign that led to closings? Okay. And then those people that you had agreements that signed to work with you, how many of those people actually did you meet with, i.e. appointments held? And then appointments set, because a certain amount of people that you set appointments with will cancel. And then from appointments set, how many opportunities did you get? How many people said, sure, I'm not ready to do anything right now, but I bumped into you at the grocery store or whatever, right? And seemed like a nice guy, like you know what you're doing. So yeah, if I ever need somebody, I'll give you a call. Keep in touch. That matters. Now, how do you, and then how do you walk that fine line of keeping in touch with them without being bothersome, right? And that's a whole other system.
Yeah.
And then from there, contacts, right? How many people did you actually speak with about real estate that said, sure, yeah, keep in touch? So those are the metrics that we reverse engineer with percentages based on conversion rates, whether they're industry standard or the actual person's conversion rates, based upon their years of experience, based upon how maybe old they are, because your peer group matters, right?
Yep.
Let's be honest, right? If you're in your 40s, you probably can afford a little bit more expensive house than if you're in your 20s. Mm-hmm. And so if you're in your 40s and you have a sphere, because you've been on the planet for 40 some years, you probably will have a higher price point than somebody who's in their 20s working with their sphere and people that they relate more to. So,
or when you're in your 20s, a lot of your friends probably aren't even buying houses yet in this day,
which makes it a little more challenging, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you have to level up. You have to level up to people that are a little more maybe astute, a little that more aren't just
that aren't just your friends in a lot of cases. Yeah.
That's right. So that's how we do it. And we have those percentages all dialed in. If you're brand new, we use industry standards percentages, as well as the average of our team, what we do for conversion rate metrics and percentages. So it's fun. It's a blast. I love it. It's like a fresh start, right? Maybe the year 2023 wasn't what you expected. It didn't turn out how you wanted it, which is probably the same for a lot of people across the country when it comes to this business.
Yeah.
So now, but you have the ability now to get a fresh start, to crank it up in Q4, no matter what the market's doing, no matter what the interest rates are doing, you're in control, and set the table nicely, like Christmas dinner, right? Set the table nicely for 2024, starting January.
And now, and I will say it's a fresh start. And now, although the year probably didn't go as you wanted, now you kind of have that experience. You've learned things from what has happened this year, so you can better prepare for next year being very similar. Like you've taken a lot of these, for a couple of years there, everything was, I won't say come and easy, but it was easier than it is now. So now you have this year, you've learned what you've learned, and you can better prepare for how you're going to hit those goals next year in a similar, hopefully better, but in probably a similar market for next year.
No doubt about it. So, yep. You have more of the same for the most part, right? So now you know what to expect for 2024.
Well, wonderful. These were always one of my favorite episodes. Like I said, it is something we do every year. We've talked about different things with business planning, so you can go all the way back to every October for the past couple of years and listen to all of those if you want more business planning content. And Kelly, if anybody wants to reach out to you, get some more one-on-one time with you about business planning or anything else real estate related, or to get one of your templates or kind of goal setting templates that you talked about, where can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. Text me, call me, 480-227-2028, or Instagram. We're big on that, at Kelly Cook Homes.
Kelly has taken over the gram. All right. And then also, if you are going to be adding a pillar to your business, or you want to get into something new for 2024 and you want to start recruiting agents to your team or building a team, go on over to buildyourrealestateteam.com and download what Kelly has put together there for you, so that you can add that into your business plan and start putting that all together.
Yep. Take advantage of free stuff. Yep.
Yes. All the free stuff. We're giving it to you. Kelly and I are going to go have some pumpkin spice lattes, but we will see you all here next week.
I can't wait. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Welcome to the podcast Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, where we will discuss the latest and most relevant business strategies to help you do one thing extremely well: sell more homes. We'll discuss everything from business planning to lead generation and conversion to past client customer service and everything in between. Join us for authentic conversations and nuts and bolts takeaways you can implement into your business today. And now, Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook.